And let's bring in Palestinian political analyst and Secretary General and co-founder of the Palestinian National Initiative, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti, for more on this. Dr. Barghouti, thank you for coming on. In 2005, you ran to become president of the Palestinian National Authority. So what's your reaction now to President Trump's comments that Palestinians should move out of Gaza and allow the U.S. to take over?
I think what President Trump suggested is not only destructive, it is criminal. He is practically, I don't know if he understands what he's doing, but he's practically advocating a war crime of ethnic cleansing of 2 million Palestinians living on their own land in Gaza, 70% of whom have already been displaced by Israel in 1948. Becoming refugees, but they are refusing to depart their country, refusing to leave their homeland. And any suggestion that they should do so will constantly and adamantly be rejected by the Palestinian people. In addition to that, this is so totally unrealistic because no other country, no Arab country will accept to be participant in a war crime of ethnic cleansing of the Palestinian people. This will destabilize Jordan completely. Jordan will be no more if that happens. The same applies to Egypt, which considers such an act as a very serious threat to its national security. The Saudi response was absolutely strong and unprecedented, also denying what President Trump said, that Saudi Arabia does not care about establishing a Palestinian state. I don't know who put these ideas in his head, but what he is advocating is the most serious violation of international law. It's the most serious violation of Palestinian rights and of human rights of Palestinian people, and it is a war crime in every sense of the word.
Now, you mentioned Egypt and Jordan. Trump said those countries should take in these nearly 2 million Palestinians. Both countries have already said no to that idea. Do you see any way this could be carried out?
No, of course not. This will not happen. Nobody will accept it. What Netanyahu has failed to achieve through his genocide of Gaza, through the bombardment, by throwing no less than 86,000 tons of American explosives on Gaza, what he couldn't achieve, which is ethnic cleansing, Mr. Trump will not achieve by making political threats. And the big question here, he says he talks to everybody except the people who are concerned, the Palestinian people. Did he ever talk to any Palestinian about these plans? Of course not. And this kind of behavior, in my opinion, reflects a very dangerous ignorance, not only of the history of the Palestinian people, but also of the whole geopolitical situation in the region. Let me ask you simply, what would the people of New York say if somebody comes and says, you all have to be moving now out of New York to Mexico, for instance, or to Afghanistan? I don't know. Nobody will ever think that this is even rational to even talk about it. So what you don't accept for Americans, how could you accept for Palestinian people who have suffered so much during the last 76 years from being ethnically cleansed, occupied by a foreign country, which is Israel, and subjected to the most terrible form of apartheid, and then war crimes? That is totally unacceptable, inhuman. I cannot believe that the president of the United States of America, the most powerful country in the world, is speaking about violating international law and committing war crimes in the 21st century. It's absolutely unacceptable.
And on that note, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas is calling for Trump to now retract the comments, saying we will not allow the rights of our people to be infringed upon. He talks about how hard the Palestinians have fought for those rights. And he says, quote, these calls represent a serious violation of international law. Now, the White House says, and the president says, this area is so destroyed and has been a source of conflict for so long that something needs to be done. What's your response to that?
Well, if they really cared about the human beings in Gaza, they first of all should have punished Israel for what it did, this terrible destruction, which is not justified in any way. They should also have withheld the American supplies of American weapons to Israel so that it would not continue to do this destruction, neither in Lebanon nor in Palestine again. They would have told Israel to stop destruction also in the West Bank, where Israel has already ethnically cleansed the refugee camp of Jenin and trying to do the same in the refugee camp of Tulkarem in the West Bank. If they really cared about us, they would say, let's mobilize resources and provide them to the Palestinians in Gaza to rebuild their lives and rebuild their homes and their hospitals and their clinics and their schools and their universities, which were destroyed by Israel. Without displacing us, we can have reconstruction while we are there. As a matter of fact, with very simple means, our people are already reconstructing. We have a medical team in a Jabalia refugee camp, which was almost totally destroyed. That clinic was destroyed already twice, and twice it was rehabilitated. And the medical team there is working now, helping Palestinian people who are in need for health care. So why would they want us to be displaced? If they care about us, let them provide support and let them tell Israel, stop the destruction, which is hurting not only the future of Palestinians, but also the future of Jewish people as well.
And I'm out of time, but quickly, some have also suggested that this proposal is just a negotiation strategy. Do you see a way that this could help in the negotiations to broker a long-term peace deal in the region?
I don't agree with that. I think this is a very serious threat. I think one has to take it seriously. I'm absolutely surprised about the American official who said that that legal aspect does not matter anymore. If that is the case, then we are not living by international law anymore, and the world is living by the rules of jungle. But I do not think this should be taken lightly, because I understand that this discussion has probably taken place between Netanyahu and Trump before things were declared. And I am sure that the ultimate plan is not only to displace Gaza, but also to displace Palestinians from the West Bank as well, after annexing the West Bank. This is the real risk we are facing. This is the worst crime in the 21st century. And be assured, we, the Palestinians, will never accept this fate. We will be resilient, we will stay on our land, and nothing will break us.
All right, Palestinian political analyst and Secretary General, co-founder of the Palestinian National Initiative, Dr. Mustafa Barghouti. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.